Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to paint this beautiful flower field painting in simple 4 steps. Now let's get started. First I'm going to take my flat brush number 8. Now let's take the color Cobalt Blue. Now let's apply the color on the top of the canvas like this. So we are painting the sky, so we need these blue shades in our painting. Now let's mix the color Cobalt Blue with our light blue, so we get this beautiful shade of blue. Now let's blend the colors together to get a beautiful sky. I always like to paint sky because the colors and the clouds are my favorite ones. And now let's take a tape and I'm going to stick this here, so you have to stick this in the center of your canvas. Now let's take the color light blue and we are going to apply the color in the remaining part of this canvas. Look at the sky, we have a very dark shade of blue in the top and gradually we are getting the light shades of blue. So when we are moving towards the horizon, so we need a extreme light shade of blue. So here I take the white and I'm going to blend the white with the light blue. So we are getting a very light shade of blue here. All you need to do is just move your brush from back and forth, and if you find your brush is holding too much of paint, then just wipe off the excess paint. Now you can blend the colors easily and now you get a beautiful sky. Now take this makeup brush, I'm going to paint the clouds. So sometimes I use makeup brush to paint the clouds. It gives beautiful effect of clouds. You can also use your normal round brush. So I am using here my makeup brush, just move my makeup brush in the shape of clouds. This round and fluffy bristles of the makeup brush always helps us to paint a beautiful clouds. But if you don't have a makeup brush, then no problem, you can use your normal round brush. Here I am using my round brush. Just rotate your brush in a circular motion and you will get the same result. Here is the bonus point you should remember. When you are painting the clouds near the horizon, it should be flat like this. Now let's paint the shadow part of the cloud. So in this painting I am going to make everything very simple. So I just use the color light blue for the shadow. So now let's paint the shadow. So here I am using my round brush. So I am going to block some area for the shadow. To create the fluffy and soft cloud, we need to rotate our brush in a circular motion, and here you can see I am just moving it in a circular motion. Here we successfully painted the beautiful sky and fluffy clouds in the first step. So in the second step we are going to paint the mountains. Now let's take the small flat brush. Here I have the color Cobalt Blue and light blue. I mix the colors. Let's stick the tape here and we are going to paint the mountain. So first we start with the mountains in the distance. So we are painting them in blue. So just draw the shape of the mountain and block the color. So it is really very easy step. So first we started with the 2 mountains in the distance. Now we are going to paint another huge mountain. Here I mix the color blue, white and black to get the dark shade of blue. So now let's give the color inside the mountain. So just we need to draw the shape and we have to block the color. And now let's paint another mountain, but this time we need to paint them in the dark green. So here I have the phthalo green, you can use any dark green you have, and we just finish painting the mountain like this. Now let's mix the color phthalo green with lemon yellow and yellow ochre, and we are using this light green shade to paint the nearby mountain. In this daisy flower field painting, we are going to give all our attention and focus only on the daisy field, so there is no need to give so much detail on the mountain. So first we just take the color light yellow and we just apply on them on the top. So now it's ready. Now let's mix the color phthalo green with yellow ochre and lemon yellow to get a light shade of green, and we are using this color for the foreground, but I accidentally deleted this clip, so we are using the color for the foreground. Now let's mix the color phthalo green more to this mixture and we are using this color in the foreground like this. Now I am going to blend the colors together. Now let's paint the flower field. To paint the flower field we have to start with the grass. So here I mix the color lemon yellow with the phthalo green and I am going to draw small lines for the grass. So first we need to draw some small lines in the distance. So when we are painting in the foreground we need to draw them little longer. So first you can see I am just painting them very smaller. If you are a beginner, sometimes you may feel it is really hard to paint grass. At this time, you can remember the following 3 rules I am going to tell. So the rule number 1 is please avoid the straight line while painting grass. Instead, you can use curved lines. The second rule is please avoid the lines in a very short and you can use some long and short lines together. And the third point is don't just draw all the lines in the same direction. Instead, you can use them in a different direction. So it will make your painting very realistic and natural. So these are the 3 rules I am following, and also I suggest 3 rules to my students. So if you want your painting more beautiful and realistic, you can use these 3 rules. And if you find these rules are really easy and interesting for you, then please let me know in the comment section. Now I can't wait to paint the flowers, but I accidentally deleted this clipping, so you can watch this. Just to draw some dots like this to paint the flowers in the distance. Now let's paint the flowers in the foreground. So here I am using my detailing brush to paint the small petals of this flowers. So we are just painting the shape of the flowers like this. We are not going to add too much detail in this painting. You can see clearly in this painting, we are painting everything in the distance very small. We just use some random small dots for the flowers in the distance. But in the middle of the ground, we are painting the flowers a little bigger and we are giving them exact shape. So we can use this technique to create the depth in our painting. And we are going to paint the flowers even bigger when we are painting them in the foreground. If you are someone who loves to paint flower and flower field, then you are gonna definitely like this playlist. In this playlist, I have created some beautiful paintings with a step-by-step tutorial like rose, lotus and lily and water lily. You can thoroughly enjoy all these paintings, and also I have given my step-by-step instruction to paint these beautiful flowers. Now we are in the foreground, so we are going to paint the flowers a little bigger. So you can see here I am using my round brush 1 and I am going to use this round brush to paint up big petals. So we can see I am not painting every petals and flowers in the same direction. We are going to use a different direction for our flowers to create the painting really interesting and beautiful. If you are new to my page, then let me introduce myself. I am Rexana. I am an acrylic painting artist. I love to paint with acrylics. Here I am sharing my painting knowledge with beginners. If you find my tutorials are very easy and interesting for you, then please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on my other social media platforms as well. We just finished painting the petal part in this painting. Now let's paint the disc of the flower. So here we have the color yellow, white and orange. Let's mix the color together to get the orange yellow color. So we are going to apply the color in the disc. So first we are going to fill the gap here. I start off the process with the flowers in the distance. So you can see I am using my detailing brush to paint the disc. So especially they are very small. And now let's paint the disc in the foreground. We are going to give more details in the disc later. First we need to apply the color for the base. So this color is for the base. We are going to apply too much details here. Let's start with the orange dot in the bottom of the disc like this. So here I am using my detailing brush and I am painting some small dots. I am giving the small orange dots where I feel less light presence in the flower. So we just give them to make the painting interesting and beautiful. So we have to take your detailing brush and give some random small dots. Once we finish painting the orange dots, now let's start with the yellow dot, and we are giving the yellow dot on the opposite side, and it's a very interesting and very relaxing process in this painting. I thoroughly enjoyed this and I suggest you can also really enjoy this. If you want me to paint any specific subject of landscape painting and if you want any tutorial, then you can ask me in the comment section. I will answer your questions through video in my next tutorial. It took me almost 7 hours to finish this painting, but I really enjoy the process because I love to paint the sky and ground, especially mountains, and flower fields are my favorite one, and I really enjoy this process, and I hope you too enjoy this process, and let me know in the comment section how much you really enjoy this painting process. And now let's see the final look of our painting. I really love this painting. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will meet you guys with another beautiful painting in my next video with step-by-step tutorial. Until then, have fun with colors.